Welcome, esteemed guests and friends from all over this magnificent world of ours. And thank you for your presence at today's important event, where we will explore ways in which we can foster unity and harmony in our polarized world. My name is Katherine Dimou, and I'm the president of the Society of Freethinkers, and I will be presenting the humanist perspective today. Humanism, at its core, is a philosophical and ethical life stance that emphasizes the innate value and dignity of human beings. This perspective embraces the principle that within each of us lies the capacity to learn from one another. Through this process, we can cultivate personal growth that leads to greater understanding, kindness, and compassion for our fellow human beings and for our own selves. Our philosophy is reflected in the values and principles we hold. To be ethical. Humanists value the intrinsic moral rewards of honesty, empathy, love, and caring for others, and seek to be good and do good because we want to be good, not because we're told to be good or for the expectation of any reward or punishment. To think rationally. Learning to think critically enables people to objectively assess and discuss concepts and potential solutions to determine the best course of action, which in turn allows us to set higher standards for improving the human condition and strengthening personal integrity. To treat people with respect and dignity. We believe that people should be accorded fair and equitable treatment, both under the law and within the dynamics of social and political spheres. To practice social responsibility. By working together and by sharing knowledge and resources, human beings can improve our ability to understand, nurture, and protect this wondrous and fragile world we live in. To advocate for democracy and secular public policies. Democracy gives every person the right and freedom to be heard. And secularism ensures that everyone is treated fairly under the law, regardless of personal belief or philosophy. In my presentation, I will share how using humanist principles can help us work toward a heightened understanding and harmonious coexistence between people and nations, with the hope that we can inspire greater awareness for the imperative need for peace and work together to create a brighter future for everyone. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We are here with Sasan from
Hello.
the Society of Freethinkers. So, Sasan, I just wanted to ask you, I know that you had an opportunity to actually be a speaker at one of the previous versions of this event. So, what was your experience like? Were there any points or any memories that stood out to you as a whole?
There were 8 different faith groups represented at that particular event, and I loved how everybody came together in unity, in a common message of healing and advancing the world. And we may have differences of opinion on certain subjects, but what we all have in common is our love of family and our service of our community and our desire to live in a peaceful and safe planet. So I thought that was what I took away from that 5 years ago is still a very vivid memory for me.
Awesome. So, you mentioned unity and common message, and I just wanted to touch upon that. We do have a theme every year at the WRC. And as you know, the theme for this year is how to heal a polarized world. So, given the context of events that are going on around the world, how important do you think it is for us to come together and talk about this particular topic?
I think this particular topic could not have been more timely given everything that's happening in the world. I think that a lot of the polarization that happens comes from differences in religion that we emphasize instead of looking at what our different beliefs, whether religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs or our ethics, our morals, what we have in common as people that brings us together. And instead of focusing on the differences, which is polarizing, we focus on what we have in common and what our mutual goals are. so that we're coming together not just as a community but as a planet.
Mhm. I was talking to Reverend Ananda, and he mentioned that it's very important to have these events so we get to know perspectives and we get to see perspectives from a whole bunch of different religious and ethnic backgrounds. How important do you think that is, and how far does that go in helping us accomplish the goal in healing the polarized nature of this world?
I think meeting people from other cultures, meeting
Mm.
people from other faiths, I think meeting people without a religious belief, like myself,
Mhm.
when we don't expose ourselves to different points of view, different cultures, different ideas, we start to think of them in maybe negative or hostile ways, not out of malice, but out of ignorance, because
Mm.
maybe you've never met an Iranian atheist before, and you might wonder what such a person is, and maybe you've been told some negative things. When you get to know
Mm.
somebody, of course, you realize
Yeah,
how much we have in common, and
that's true.
that is how we heal a polarized world, is learning about each other and understanding that we all share the same love and attributes, and these are what bring us together. So it's really about exposing ourselves and making friends
Mm.
with people from other cultures, other beliefs, and realizing that we're all people. We come together.
And that's another thing I think about having an event like this. Everyone that I've spoken to today, everyone that I've interviewed, I've asked more or less the same questions, and everyone has had such an interesting and unique answer to it. It's expanding my own knowledge and my own perspective on things as well. So, Sasan, it's been great meeting you.
It's such a pleasure. Thank
Have a
you.
great day,
Thank you for
and I hope to
organizing
see you
such a
at the next
wonderful and
WRC
meaningful
as well.
conference.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would first like to thank our hosts, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, for their hard work in organizing this conference, and to all of you for supporting a shared vision of increased collaboration, harmony, and peace. In a climate marked by fragmentation and polarization, we must consider realistic avenues that can lead us towards solidarity and healing. Looking through the integrated lens of humanism and secularism, we can explore a compelling vision for a more caring and peaceful world. So how can we heal a polarized world emotionally, politically, socially, and culturally from a humanist standpoint, taking into consideration the multitude of religions and philosophies? By collaborating on shared goals. We can start with the universal truth that strength lies in unity, while division leads to vulnerability. This fact is readily seen in human societies and organizations. So by working together, we can lead to collective strength and success, while conflict and discord can weaken and erode our ability to accomplish shared aspirations. By acknowledging diversity, humanists respect the dignity and autonomy of every individual, regardless of belief or cultural background. Rather than seeking to convert or dominate, humanism calls for recognizing that the richness of our collective human experience is enhanced by diversity and inclusivity. In a world where differences often lead to conflict, humanism provides a solid foundation where people with diverse viewpoints can stand together in pursuit of a brighter future for us all. It invites us to focus on our shared humanity and see that our similarities far outweigh our differences. Embracing humanist principles means embracing a universal ethic that transcends any doctrine, fostering a more inclusive environment where kindness, love, and peace can flourish. By thinking critically. One of the key concepts of humanism is recognizing the values of rationality and evidence-based analysis. In a polarized world where misinformation and prejudice abound, a commitment to thinking logically and making rational decisions can be a very powerful tool for building bridges of understanding. By encouraging critical thinking, humanism empowers us to question our biases and assumptions, paving the way for a more open and authentic dialogue. This amplifies our ability to comprehend and appreciate the perspectives of others and to cultivate empathy toward their thoughts and feelings. by recognizing our shared human values. Humanism is a rewarding way of life built on a bedrock of human values and ethics, prioritizing reason, compassion, and our collective well-being. It is a philosophy that transcends religious, cultural, political, and social boundaries and provides a foundation for shared human values that can unite us all. Additionally, humanism highlights the profound significance of moral principles that are deeply rooted in the welfare and prosperity of humanity. Values such as compassion, empathy, fairness, and justice are not the exclusive domain of any religion. They form a common thread that runs through the tapestry of human experience. By embracing our shared moral framework, we can forge a profound and harmonious alliance to address the disheartening adversities that beset our world: poverty, discrimination, ecological degradation, without being hindered by polarizing disputes that often impede progress. By respecting the only life we have. In humanist philosophy, the focus is on this life, the tangible world, the only world we know, and the realization that we can improve our own lives and the lives of others right here, right now. This earnest appreciation of our present life imbues us with a sense of urgency to address the difficulties that impact us all, regardless of religious, cultural, and political boundaries. Humanism invites us to find common ground in the pursuit of real and feasible solutions to benefit humanity as a whole, fostering a spirit of cooperation that is essential for healing and lasting peace. This is why humanists champion human rights and social justice, regardless of one's faith. This includes advocating for equality, tackling discriminatory laws and prejudice mindsets, and improving universal access to essential needs, such as clean water, nutritious food, and affordable healthcare and education. But keeping faith and law in their respective realms. Humanists advocate for keeping religion out of government and public policies to ensure that legal decisions are fair and unbiased, and that they are grounded in objective truths rather than religious tenets. By upholding this principle, we can foster a just and balanced system that appreciates the diversity of beliefs and values cherished by its citizens, and one that treats everyone fairly and equitably. Secularism also has additional benefits. It safeguards individual freedoms. It prevents the imposition of any one faith on an incredibly diverse population. And it lays the groundwork for a harmonious society where people of all faiths, or none, can coexist peacefully, contributing to the common good without fear of discrimination. As we navigate the complexities of our dynamic global landscape, humanism can be a beacon of hope, guiding us to encourage plurality and inclusivity. By appreciating diverse philosophical traditions from people all over the world, while anchoring our shared values in reason and compassion, and working together on mutually beneficial goals, we can build bridges and mend cultural, religious, social, and political divides. Our inclusive approach to living fosters a sense of belonging for everyone, reinforcing the idea that we are all essential and unique members of the human family. In closing, humanism offers a compelling vision for nurturing kindness and peace and healing our polarized world. It calls upon us to embrace our shared humanity, to celebrate our diversity, to work together, and to be respectful and compassionate toward each other, so we can create a more harmonious world and peacefully coexist and overcome any barriers that may divide us. we can embark on this journey together, a journey toward a brighter future, a future where the principles of humanism guide us in creating a world embodied with kindness, peace, and the flourishing of all humankind. And while humanists do not have any scripture, we do have a deep appreciation for the beauty of nature, and we are inspired by the harmonious melodies of music, the captivating expressions of art, the profound insights of literature, and the rich tapestry of our multicultural global fabric. And on that note, I would like to invite Chris Hamilton to recite a poem called Human Family by the illustrious African-American poet Maya Angelou, and Remy Wright-Lowe to share an excerpt from the book Pale Blue Dot, A Vision of the Human Future in Space by the renowned astronomer Carl Sagan.
Human family. I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious, some thrive on comedy. Some declare their lives are lived as true profundity, and others claim they really live the real reality. The variety of our skin tones can confuse, bemuse, delight. Brown and pink, and beige and purple, tan and blue, white. I've sailed upon the seven seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the world, not yet one common man. I know 10,000 women called Jane and Mary Jane, but I've not seen any two who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, and lovers think quite different things while lying side by side. We love and lose in China. We weep on England's moors. We laugh and moan in Guinea. We thrive on Spanish shores. We seek success in Finland, are born and die in Maine. In minor ways we differ, in major we're the same. And note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. Thank you.
Look at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you have ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal with more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known. Thank you.
Thank you, and peace be with you.
So the question would be, with your faith perspective in mind, what reflections would you have to share with our community with respect to the Middle East?
When I think about what's happening in the Middle East, as a humanist, I find it extremely heartbreaking. And whether the conflict is political or religious, it really doesn't matter. What I see is fear, I see anger, I see desire for power and control. Maybe it's for both. And the selfishness and the ignorance that abound are just abhorrent. As a humanist, the way I see that we can possibly help resolve this conflict that's been going on for so long is to listen to what the other person says or the other nation says. We need to stop talking and start listening. What are their fears? Usually when people are aggressive like that, they're afraid of something. They're afraid of loss, afraid of losing control, afraid of the unknown. Whatever it is, let's get talking and understand what their fears are and how can we work together to resolve them. There's room for everybody. It's the only way we're going to have peace, is to start listening to each other and helping each other.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about your tradition? And would you be open to helping clarify that misconception for attendees?
One of the most prevailing misconceptions about humanism is that it's a faith or a belief system. Humanism is a way of life that is based on reason, ethics, caring for others, wanting to do good because we care. Most humanists are either atheist or agnostic, so the concept of God is they have no God beliefs, or it doesn't matter. What unites humanists all over the world is our sense of wanting to help others, wanting to be good, not because we're going to get some reward, or punishment after death, because we want to, because we value this life that we live. So much so that we feel this kinship with others in reason and compassion, and we are empathetic. And again, going back to the Middle East, that's why it's so heartbreaking, because there's that breakdown in that universal reason and kindness, and that's not going to be peaceful.